The Champions League knockout stages began, and a historic day for U.S. internationals. For the first time ever, 3 started games in a Champions League knockout stages. We almost had a chance for 4th if Gio Reyna got started. He didn't. So we should be celebrating here and talking wonderful things. However, thanks to the media in Spain and France, I'm a little hot right now. And we deal with a perception about being America. A lot of it is deserved. But players, coaches, broadcasters, referees, we all get dragged through the mud a bit. We can take it. We are big boys and girls. But sometimes it goes beyond the pale. And the stereotypes and the perceptions are validated when you look at the treatment we get. And I'll get to that shortly. But let's talk about what happened. Still, we shouldn't dampen too much enthusiasm on what occurred. Let's start with the earlier games. Tyler Adams going 90 minutes for Leipzig. They lost to Liverpool, 2 away goals for Liverpool. Leipzig's tournament is likely over, but Adams played pretty well. He again went the full 90. He got involved late. He should have had an assist late if Hwang Hee-chan, the Korean striker who came off the bench for Leipzig, was able to convert. Still, good. That on its own for Tyler Adams, who had a great tournament last season, looms well. We'll talk briefly about Gio Reyna. He didn't start for Dortmund. He didn't come off the bench, in large part because they didn't need him. Dortmund were up 3-1 away to Sevilla. Sevilla would score a goal, and you don't bring an attacking player really in that situation. As Dortmund looked to protect the lead, they have their defensive issues, so they really wanted to fortify it late. Great day for Erling Haaland. Great day for Kylian Mbappe. So obviously that was the big story coming out of the Champions League. You see Mbappe and Haaland, 2 of the future stars. Maybe the future Messi-Ronaldo rivalry is those 2 guys. They continue to answer the bell. So Gio Reyna, maybe we'll see him. The good news for him, it looks like Dortmund will advance. Leipzig, no, but Dortmund likely to advance because of the 3 away goals. Next up, Juventus played Porto. It was in Portugal, and the Portuguese champs winning it 2-1. Weston McKennie getting the start. He was pulled out after 63 minutes, which was surprising to me because Andrea Pirlo, who I think is not ready for this kind of position. You would think a guy like Andrea Pirlo is a beautiful player, he was, but as a manager, he is much more pragmatic. He's very Mourinho-esque, doesn't really push. But when they were down 2 goals, Weston McKennie was the one guy pushing a high line, pressing, working hard. And even the broadcaster at the time was surprised that he was replaced. I was surprised he was replaced. It didn't make sense. They brought in Alvaro Morata, who can't stay on side to save his life. Anyhow, still a good day for Weston McKennie. Juventus have a shot to make the quarterfinals. I don't think they're going to get there. I like Porto. Juventus lucky to get that goal late. There was some controversy with Cristiano Ronaldo. Maybe they were able to tie it. I'd be worried if I was Juventus. And just the implementation, and almost being the fall guy for McKennie didn't really hit well. But the reason it didn't hit well is because what happened between Barcelona and PSG going to the new camp and winning 4-1, ending Barcelona's Champions League hopes right there. Fascinating game for so many reasons. If we had more games like this, soccer would be the most popular sport in this country, because how can you not be completely drawn in by what happened there? It was awful for many guys. And Kylian Mbappe had one of the all-time games, scoring the hat trick, running rampant against Sergiño Dest and Barcelona. Sergiño Dest was the right back. He was there to mark Mbappe. Mbappe got loose time and time again. So he gets replaced in the 71st minute, first guy subbed. That's fine. Now, after the game, Sport, a publication in Spain, and L'Equipe, a publication in France, rated Dest out of a player rating out of 10, they gave him a 2, which is as bad as it gets. You don't give people 1, you don't give people 0. 2 is just awful. And yeah, he didn't play well. But Sport said about Dest, he was the worst. He was the first subbed out, a disaster. These were their words. L'Equipe gave him a 2. And I feel that the perception of being American is part of the discussion here, is part of the criticism. Because if you watch that game, Sergiño Dest was not the worst Barcelona player. There were 5 Barcelona players that I say were worse. Ousmane Dembele was cataclysmically bad. In the game, there was a soundbite, Gerard Piqué arguing with Antoine Griezmann. If you were watching it, you would have seen how it went. But Piqué said to Griezmann, and indicating all the attackers, "You've been awful, we need help." Saying that they were way too up, they couldn't combine and couldn't get any possession. Dembele was constantly out of position, and guys like Dest were on an island having to cover Kylian Mbappe. Dest was outclassed, but he was put in an untenable situation by Dembele. Sergio Busquets is not very good anymore. Now, Marco Verratti has been hailed the best midfielder in the world after this game by many. And you guess who was marking Verratti? Sergio Busquets. Sergio Busquets gets a pass because of what he did, but he was brutal. He shouldn't be playing. He marked it. He couldn't get possession. He turned the ball over. So Dembele, Busquets, Pedri, Griezmann, Piqué, who got the photo where he's grabbing Mbappe, they were all worse than Dest. So Sport, L'Equipe, thanks for ruining a very fun couple days for us. And thanks for picking on Sergiño Dest. He's a young player. He needs a lifting up. He wasn't great, but to say he was the worst player than those guys I mentioned, you are wrong and you're not watching the game. And I will stand by that. So I think best case scenario, Gio Reyna makes the quarterfinals and maybe Weston McKennie. It's probably the end of the road for Dest and Tyler Adams. We hope Christian Pulisic and whomever else can keep it going. Zach Steffen for Manchester City. We cross our fingers. It wasn't a great couple days, but we still have hope, and we're proud of our guys.